Listen up, you beautiful, passionate Whites warriors. Your boys got 3 absolutely mental bombshells that are going to shake Elland Road to its very foundations. We're talking about moves that could make or break our entire summer, and I'm not even joking when I say this could be the most important few minutes you spend today. Right now, as I'm speaking to you legends, there's a Brazilian wizard who's just been completely ruled out of our plans, and trust me, this one's going to sting like a dagger through the heart. But that's not even the worst part, because we've got a defensive rock that every club in England wants. And guess what? He doesn't even want to stay in England. Can you believe the absolute madness of it all? And here's where it gets absolutely insane. There's a certain Manchester City superstar whose next move could literally hand us our dream signing on a silver platter. I'm talking about a player who scored the goal that brought us back to the Premier League, and his future might depend on what happens at the Etihad. This is the kind of transfer domino effect that makes football absolutely beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. Smash that like button right now if you're ready for this emotional roller coaster that's going to test every fiber of your Leeds-loving soul. Drop a comment telling me what you think our biggest priority should be this summer window. And for the love of all things Leeds, subscribe because this summer is going to be absolutely bonkers and you don't want to miss a single second. But before we dive into this madness that's about to unfold, let me ask you this. Are you ready to have your heart broken and then piece back together in the space of 10 minutes? Because that's exactly what's about to happen to every single one of you beautiful Whites. Here comes bombshell number 1, and it's going to hurt like hell. Remember that electric Brazilian winger I was hinting at? Well, Igor Paixão, the Feyenoord sensation who absolutely tore up the Eredivisie with 16 goals and 10 assists in just 3 league appearances, has just been completely ruled out of any move to Elland Road. And I'm not going to lie to you Whites family, this one stings like 1,000 needles. This 24-year-old magician was everything we needed on that right wing. Pace, power, goals, assists, the complete package that Daniel Farke dreams about. We're talking about a player who could have walked straight into our starting 11 and transformed our entire attacking dynamic for years to come. The Brazilian had just capped off an incredible season under Robin van Persie, showing exactly the kind of consistency and quality that Premier League football demands. Arsenal were sniffing around like vultures, Brighton was seriously interested, Marseille even threw a cheeky 17 million bid on the table, but Feyenoord wanted the full 34 million for this absolute gem. And honestly, after watching his highlights, you can understand why they valued him so highly. But here's the crushing blow that's going to make every Leeds fan's blood boil. Dutch journalist Valentin Driessen has just come out and completely destroyed our dreams with one brutal statement. On The Telegraph's podcast, he said there's no interest in him at all. Not from us, not from Napoli, not from anyone. He basically called all the transfer rumours complete fabricated nonsense. Can you imagine the absolute frustration coursing through every Leeds fan right now? We finally get back to the Premier League after years of heartbreak. We've got a massive 150 million transfer budget burning a hole in our pocket, and the perfect winger to complement our attacking play gets snatched away before we can even make a proper move. This is the kind of setback that makes you want to punch a wall and question everything about modern football. But wait until you hear about the defensive disaster that's about to unfold. It gets so much worse. Now, if losing Paixão wasn't bad enough to make you lose sleep, wait until you hear about this absolute nightmare scenario that's developing with our defensive targets. We've been tracking Japhet Tanganga, this incredible centre-back who's been absolutely dominating the championship with Millwall like he's playing against school children. And get this, he's got a ridiculous 1.2 million release clause that's basically daylight robbery. This is the kind of signing that makes you question everything about modern football and wonder how on earth a player of this caliber can be available for such pocket money. Tanganga has been one of the best defenders in the entire championship this season, putting in performances that would make Virgil van Dijk jealous. If he'd been playing for us, Sheffield United or Burnley, he'd have been a guaranteed shoo-in for the team of the season without any debate whatsoever. England U21 international with bags of potential, Premier League experience with Tottenham, can play multiple positions across the backline. This guy is basically the perfect Daniel Farke defender who ticks every single box on our wish list. At 25 years old, he's entering his prime years and could be our defensive cornerstone for the next decade. But here's where the story takes a turn that will make every Leeds fan want to scream at the sky until their voices give out. Tanganga doesn't even want to stay in English football. Can you believe the absolute audacity and disrespect? We're talking about a player who could walk into our starting 11 tomorrow, cost us basically pocket money compared to our massive transfer budget, and he'd rather try his luck in Germany or France. 5 Premier League clubs are chasing him like he's the last pint at Elland Road. Us, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, Burnley, and probably more clubs we don't even know about. And this man is looking at his options thinking, nah, I'd rather try my luck on the continent where nobody knows my name. The disrespect is absolutely mind-blowing and heartbreaking. Here we are, fresh off winning the championship in style, about to compete in the Premier League with one of the most passionate fan bases in world football, and quality players are turning their noses up at the opportunity to pull on the famous white shirt and make history at Elland Road. The twist that could save our entire summer is coming, and it's absolutely mental. Right, Whites faithful, here's where this entire summer saga takes the most incredible twist you could possibly imagine in your wildest football dreams. Remember Manor Solomon, our championship-winning hero who scored the goal that brought us back to the promised land and sent 40,000 plus fans into absolute delirium. Well, his entire future might depend on what Jack Grealish does next, and I'm not making this incredible story up. Grealish has been completely frozen out at Manchester City, like yesterday's newspaper. They've left him out of their Club World Cup squad, which is basically Pep Guardiola's way of saying, "You're not in my plans anymore, mate." According to Goal, Tottenham are his most likely destination this summer, and the 100 million man is desperate for regular first-team football to revive his career. Now here's where it gets absolutely beautiful for us Leeds fans. Israeli sources are reporting that if Grealish joins Spurs for the massive fee they'll demand, Tottenham will have no choice but to sell Solomon to cover the astronomical costs and balance their books. It's like the football gods are finally smiling down on Elland Road after years of heartbreak and disappointment. This is the kind of domino effect that makes football absolutely magical and unpredictable. One £100 million signing at the Etihad, motivated by a player wanting more game time, could directly hand us the player who literally delivered our championship trophy and became an instant legend in white. Solomon has been valued between £20 million, which is basically loose change compared to our summer budget, and he's already proven he can deliver when the pressure is at its absolute peak. Can you imagine the pure poetry of it all? The same player who scored the goal that sent Elland Road into absolute pandemonium, the same winger who had every single Leeds fan singing his name until their voices were hoarse, could be back in white because of a transfer domino that started with Jack Grealish wanting more game time. It's like a Hollywood script written specifically for Leeds United. But here's the thing that's going to keep every Leeds fan tossing and turning at night. Thomas Frank, Tottenham's new boss fresh from Brentford, wants to take a proper look at Solomon in pre-season before making any final decisions about his future. One man's tactical opinion could determine whether our championship hero becomes a permanent Elland Road legend or just a beautiful memory that we'll tell our grandchildren about. This summer is going to test every single emotion you've got as a Leeds fan and push your heart to its absolute limits. We've been brutally rejected by a Brazilian wizard, completely snubbed by a bargain defender who doesn't rate English football, but we might just get our championship hero back through the most unexpected and beautiful route possible. So here's my burning question for you, Whites family. Which of these 3 scenarios hurts your soul the most, and which one fills you with the most hope for this incredible summer? Drop your passionate thoughts in the comments, because this transfer window is going to be an absolute emotional marathon that will test every fiber of your Leeds-loving being. Smash subscribe and let's ride this summer roller coaster together, because being a Leeds fan has never been boring, and this summer is going to be absolutely legendary MOT.